Good morning and welcome. Thank you for joining me here today. If you found me here, there may be hope for your healing journey, soul's evolution, transformation, and or simply information. Today I would like to talk to you a little bit about the journey of a healer, empaths, maybe you're a self-healer yourself or an intuitive. Have you become unstoppable with your life now that you've transformed your trauma back to heart center? Are people looking at you a little bit different? And maybe the takeaway is your light irritates their demons, right? We all have people like that in our lives. And if you are a gifted healer and intuitive, whatever you are, you actually, I'm going to say, I honor the light in you as you've made it. Keep the path going. And as an empath, a healer, you're here for a purpose. And the journey has not been easy. Trust me, I know. A takeaway from you would be you made it and you are in purpose, divine service, as we all are along a journey. Even if you've had people take you off your journey and still try 24/7 with the dark arts. I know for me that's true. And people are always trying to catch you doing something bizarre, but we just are who we are. And most of my mentors, teachers, guides, and other people who are authentic on this path and not fake, stealing everybody's content and profiles, which there are a lot on YouTube. Those of us that know better do better, and those of us know. And my gift to you today is if you have somebody that you're following and it resonates, great. If it means something to you, wonderful. If you get something from them and you've healed, wonderful. But if you're chronically watching somebody that makes you feel terrible or you have a intuitive ping, maybe knowing that they're not authentic, they're just funny, it's your choice to either continue to watch, kind of like those old weird commercials or shows that are just bizarre. It might be humorous, but if you're on a healing journey, you want something authentic that can move you from where you've been, heal your trauma, shame, fear, grief, sorrow to present, to keeping you on your path to the future, which is an oak tree and not ice skates. So there's a massive difference. And I know for myself, I have another platform that people stole my content and they'll block you and they're not interested in what you have to say because it might be um, your story. But your story is yours. Everybody has one. Everybody has a walk of life and everybody has free will to speak about it for the purpose of healing. And if the higher purpose is helping others, then that's what we're here for. It's awareness, and you make your choices to heal from it, learn from it, grow from it, and evolve. And that's the whole point of today. It's your mindset, it's your character, is your integrity intact, it's your responsibility to be transparent with your whole body, mind, and soul. And that way you're more equally aligned to your own self power. And so sometimes when we're not aligned as intuitives, and maybe you have a lot of clients, I know my holistic practice started a decade ago, longer than that, or I should say 15 years ago. And I couldn't understand the world. Why working in such a aesthetically beautiful place with everything available for healing. And it's more common now, but the modalities back then were a start point, and there's senior elders, they call them, handing the baton down to us, and then we to the new people. So we're the middleman, and we've definitely been through the murky waters of the Phoenix Rising. I've been through more hell and trauma in my life than one can actually, what do they call, shake a stick at. It's unfathomable and definitely unjust. But, as they say, if you believe in God or you have a higher source, you have a higher wisdom, you have a belief system. I'm not pushing any agenda. I'm just saying you have to believe in something for this path because it is profoundly moving. And if you can make it through and look at the higher picture to help others know, that's where I'm at. I've also had many, 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 many lifetimes of being, you know, my soul is very old, so I have a lot of wisdom and knowledge underneath me that most wouldn't know. You grow up, children are seen and not heard, but it's a knowing. It's an inner knowing and it's an inner peace, and people come to you for counsel, and a lot of people. And I'm, I'm not, I've never been soul struck or starstruck. It's your soul that needs help this lifetime. So those of us that are healers and gifted, we're humble. A lot of my teachers barely, some of them barely make ends meet, and they're the greatest teachers ever because they give back in many ways. But they also have been hurt by vicious people who want to take them down because hurt people tend to hurt people. So the crazy things that happen in life are people that have unhealed trauma and shame and fear and sorrow and grief so overwhelming. And if they have addictions, they take on other personalities and cling-ins, walk-ins, and from their whole family, maybe they're taking on that aspect and didn't even, or maybe they did know it and they sold their soul to the devil because it's all about the dollar versus love. So those are things we need to release and come to heart center and say, I forgive you. The Ho'oponopono prayer, you can find the one that's the original. There's a grandma online. She's literally beautiful soul. And just play it 24 hours and cry with yourself and her and everybody else. Stream it. I forgive you and I'm sorry and I love you. And say it backwards, back and forth. I'll do that on my next live just so you can go through it. It's emotional. And when you turn it outward, it's for everybody. But when you roll it backwards, it's yourself. And keep doing it. So your inner child feels loved. And that's important. And you may tear, and I may too, because as intuitive empaths, we pick up on things. So that's the other thing is if you find yourself as an intuitive and you have weighted yourself down, and I mean literally, you put on some weight and you're storing it. You have a lot of trauma that you are holding, being in the some of your clients or patients maybe are the ones that have same or similar story and you can release it. Or maybe you haven't learned to put boundaries up and help your client and then release it and you are storing it for them like an old shaman. So there's a new way of doing things. So I encourage you to let it go. It's not yours to keep. Some people I flat out heard at classes that, no, I need this on me because that way I'm protected. It's their boundary, and that's okay too. I have known a lot of people, and whatever works for you is great until it becomes unhealthy. And it's time to let things go. But they keep it because it's protective. And I have a story that I was told I could share. A client, never forget, she was abused, and I have a good friend. She was a good friend. She abused all which ways as a child, and then as a teenager, raped, and then in her adulthood, became very promiscuous and hurt in many different ways. And of course, had an alcohol problem and other problems, and then health problems. And when she had gastric bypass surgery, she almost died. And it was her choice to live or die, and she chose to live. And so the weight she had on her short body was way too much. And so she had the surgery and lost weight, but had the skin, and she felt ugly. And that in itself made her want to tip over, like literally take her life, which was very sad. So thinking about her, it's emotional because people take their lives because of other people who told them you're ugly. She was funny as hell, and everybody thought she was funny. I mean, everybody. She was so inappropriate. I mean, inappropriate. And nobody. could keep her quiet, but everybody enjoyed her humor, but she felt ugly. And she was obese, and the addictions kind of took her over. But eventually, after her father passed, and he loved her so much, just dearly, he was her cheerleader, she got sober and found love, and she she's grateful she didn't take her life, right? And so the weight, the skin is still there. She never had the surgery, and he loves her as she is. And the scars are still there inside. But she found Al Anon. She found a lot of different tools to heal herself. Not the route I took. She didn't believe in that. And I'm okay with that because at the end of the day, she loved herself and she had self love. And that skin there, well, they're war wounds just like us that have children. Okay, body changes, they look different. It looks different. But when you love yourself and somebody loves you as you are, it's through everything, thick, thin, your body, mind, and soul, and your story. So don't be afraid to share your story with somebody and be vulnerable. I love Brené Brown. Go look at her TED Talks. She is fearless, and I love her. Vulnerability is a sign of strength. It's definitely not weakness. So if you can laugh and cry with your partner, then you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, yeah, I love me and all of my story. Your person will too. She has a wonderful older gentleman. He definitely is 20 years older, but he loves her, and that's true love. So it doesn't matter what stage of life you are when you find it. I'm proud of her because 50 years of her life were traumatic, and then now she found love, and she has a simple life. She's still crazy as all get out, but she's tamed down, of course, over the years, and she's met a lot of people. Like she seems to find a lot of people. She runs into people that are somewhat famous, and she's the same all day long with anybody else, and that's what I love about her. She didn't change. She didn't change her colors to fit in. You can't fit her in a box, in a bottle, in a square, a triangle, rectangle. You just can't. And that's what I love about it. Don't try and fit yourself in some place where you don't fit. If somebody just uses and abuses you and throws you away, just say thank you because something better is coming. I think Maya D'Angelo said that, or Angelou. I always say D'Angelo, and I love her so much. Rest her soul. Just like Aretha. Respect. Some respect on your name, and you shall receive. Because if you don't respect and love yourself, then how is anybody else going to do so, right? Love yourself as you are. If you wish to change, it's up to you. If you want to augment your body to make yourself feel better, and you really will feel better because it's your choice, then go ahead and do so. But not so much that you're unrecognizable. It doesn't change what happened inside of you. And that's the point. The weight you put on maybe is from the weight you take on is releasing. If it comes back, maybe it's same or similar issues. That's okay. It's a protective barrier, and now it's time to release it. It's okay to be where you are. Love yourself, and just remember to take care of you because you matter. And life is short. Take care of you today. You count things for yourself. Live with integrity, faith over fear, hope for your healing journey. And so it is. Namaste.